Hey, compliments of the season, everyone. My name is Oluseyi Lala. People call me Shalom Esquire, and I'd like to welcome you to this mini series on Achiever Zone. I'm calling it 2024, my best year yet mini series. And first off, I'm going to be talking about financial management. I'm wearing green because, again, it depicts money, and money is very crucial and very important to us in our day-to-day lives, and that's one of the reasons why this is the first episode of this mini series. So we're going to be talking about financial management. But just before we go ahead, let me give you a background into Achiever Zone. Achiever Zone is a personal development community that I was inspired to put together, and this year we're looking at season two, which is starting on the 20th of January 2024. We started Achiever Zone 3 years ago, during the start of the year 2020, before the pandemic hit. And the whole idea was for me to have a community of people around me who are achievers, and for them to come around, form a community, share principles, nuggets, and things that they do on a regular basis to make them high flyers, highly productive people and achievers, and for them to come sit with me in a relaxed atmosphere so that we could discuss those principles and those nuggets that they use, for the benefit of the community, so that people can also benefit from the knowledge and skill set that these people have. So we started that in the year 2020, and it was just an idea that came to me. I was inspired to start it, and we started two groups, one on Facebook and one on LinkedIn, because those were like the two major platforms that I was present on. And my whole idea, my philosophy in life is about adding value to people. So I opened up, those groups in those two platforms, and we started sharing and discussing about setting goals, tracking goals, and achieving them. And then that translated into Achiever Zone Season 1 in 2020. And over the years, I've been thinking about, okay, when do we start this again? And thankfully, we got together this year with the production team, and we started thinking about how we're going to start this again for season two. And we've targeted, the year 2024 to be the start of season two for Achiever Zone. So over the couple of months and weeks, we've been unveiling the different guests that is coming to form a faculty of experts. And this season, we're having one guest per month. So in total, we'll be having 12 guests that will come in each month from January to December and just share on a particular topic with us, which we would, present to the two groups, both on LinkedIn and Facebook, and then, go ahead on a regular basis to discuss some of those points. But in between that, I got inspired this morning to start up this series, this mini series, which is 2024, my best year yet. And I'll be talking about different areas of management and different areas where you can set, track, and achieve your goals in between, the monthly sessions that I'll be having. So today, the first thing we'll do is talk about financial management. And again, I'll just go straight to the slides, right? I just have one slide with a lot of topics on it just to kind of help and guide me. So firstly, what is financial management? And I like this definition from Coursera. There was an article on finance management, and they said that finance management is defined as the strategic planning and managing of an individual or organization's finances to better align their financial status to their goals and objectives. And I really love this definition because you could see at the tail end that you have goals and objectives. And the whole idea is for you to be strategic in your planning and management of your finances as an individual or as an organization to better align your financial status to those goals and objectives that you set, which is a good thing. Because again, when you're talking about setting goals, for the year, and this is not your annual resolution or New Year resolution and things like that. No, I'm talking about you setting goals to say, okay, these are the things I want to achieve for the year 2024, right? And one of the key things that we look at is money, finance, and that's why I'm talking about this. So, firstly, let's learn the basics. Again, full disclosure, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not an accountant, but I'm married to one. And over the years, I've learned a couple of things from her and also from my organization. where I work, on the different things that you need to do, to get you to a level where you're financially stable and you are properly managing your finances. So let's look at the basics, right? And these are just pure definitions. You could Google and look them up as well for details. So one of the key ones that I put down is to look at the difference between gross and net. So some people, I don't know, might not understand what that means. So your gross is basically your total income that comes to you, everything that accrues to you before taxes are deducted, right? And then your net is your gross minus tax, basically. So anything that comes to you at the end of the day, maybe in your bank account, is essentially your net, because in some organizations they would have deducted all the taxes from your income before they transfer or send money to you or to your account. So that's a pure definition, basic definition of gross versus net. The next thing is about income and spending. I think this is pretty much clear. Income is every revenue that comes to you, while spending is the amount of money you spend, right? And then the last bit is about capex and opex. So this is from an organizational point of view, but you can bring it down to your individual life. So capex is capital expenditures, which is basically the amount of money you spend on big ticket items. For example, as an individual, you're trying to buy a house or buy a car or pay for a second degree or something. Those are capital expenditure. While OPEX is operational expenditure, which are like your monthly recurring fees. So your subscription for data, your subscription for internet in your house, your monthly spending of for food, transportation, commute, and things like that. So those are the basics. And I think that would help us, as we progress in this conversation. Now, the basic question is, okay, how do you manage your finances? And I'm giving you examples from my personal life and the things I do on a regular basis. First off is journaling. I have this journal, which is now electronic. It started out as a piece of notebook that I keep, that keeps a financial record of my spending, and I use that to track myself. So on a regular basis, right, I know, okay, this is how much I spent this week, this is how much I spent on this day. I used it for transport, I bought ice cream, or whatever the case is. You need to keep a financial record of your spending. I have this saying that I tell my people on a regular basis: you can only improve what you track. If you don't track it, you can't improve it. So you need to first off have a financial journal. Keep a record of your spending on a regular basis. Second thing, spend less than your income. If you do that, you're already properly managing your finances. Let's say, for example, you earn $100 a month, right? And your spending is about 70 or $80. That means that you have close to 20 or $30 to keep as your saving. You need to find a way to discipline yourself to spend less than your income. The next point for me is what I call the 80-20 rule. That is, spend about 80% of your income and save about 20%. So it's kind of reinforces the point that we had above, which is spending less than your income. So spend about 80%. It could be 70-30, depending on your own kind of particular situation. And then I have the next rule or principle, which I call the GFCOY rule. And it stands for God, family, whether your immediate or external family, your career, investment in your knowledge, and then others. So for me, God is very important in my relationship. I have a very deep, relationship with God. And because of that, I also dedicate a portion of my money into the things of God. So I pay my tithe, which is 10%. I give my offering. I give to the church. I give to people around me, because that is pretty much important to me, because I recognize that without Him, without the skill set He has given me, I will not even be in a position to make money in the first place. The second thing is your family, second point. So you need to have a budget for your immediate family, that's your wife and your children, and basically your external family. Put a percentage to that and tell them, look, this is how much I have for you for this month. Anything outside that, nothing is going to happen. And I think for me, in my family, they pretty much know this is the amount I have. So my siblings and their family, or my mom, or people around me, they know that's the amount, and I give it to them on a regular basis. Of course, I increase it as my income increases. And there are days where things are very tight for me where I say, look, mom, this amount is not going to come this month because I have one or two things I need to do. So you need to be able to have that as well. Have some percentage of your income dedicated to God if you believe in that, right? And if you abide by those principles, do the same for your family, your immediate family, your external family. Do the same for your career. So have a percentage of your income that you dedicate to invest in knowledge, whether you're buying a book, whether you're attending a webinar, whether you're going for a course that will improve you. You need to do that because that is also part of your financial management. I'll get to that, a bit later. And I think that's the next point actually, which I'm going to talk about. So you need to have a percentage for your career and then have a percentage for others. So maybe you're giving to the less privileged, and people around you that are not up to your financial level. It's always good to give back. And I tell people like this way that when God blesses you, you need a longer table, not a higher fence. And that's the way I look at life myself. So, I look at giving to other people around me. If I'm buying new sets of clothes, then the ones I have before, I give it away to people. If I'm buying new shoes, I give the old ones out to people, all in good condition, just to kind of appreciate and tell them, look, I'm getting better in life financially. I want you to also get better. And then I pass it down. And then the last one is spend on yourself. A lot of people, have this mentality where, oh, they're just giving and giving and giving to others and they don't give to themselves. You need to replenish yourself because you are the source. It's your skill set, is your life that you're using to get money, at work and the things you do. So you need to take time to take care of yourself. I usually give this example, when you're in an airplane and they're giving the safety instructions, they tell you that in the unlikely event that there's an issue and the pressure in the cabinet changes, that mask will fall down from the panels and everything. They say this thing which is very key: put the mask on yourself first before you help others, because you need to be fine first before you can even extend that to others. So I always keep that at the back of my mind when it comes to my finances. I need to be fine first, right? Others are important, yes, but I am more important because again, I'm the source. um then the other part here is to basically, you know for you to learn more, for you to earn more, you need to learn more. And I'll just kind of highlight on that more. Let me take myself off so that I can see that better. So you see that next point where you need to learn more to earn more. And I tell people every time, your knowledge is power, but your applied knowledge is actually what is much more powerful. So the knowledge you have is fine, but you need to apply it. However, in terms of earning, if you look at it in your organization, as the more you know more, the more you learn and you have more knowledge, the more the tendency of you being promoted and being, given more tasks and all of that, and they all tie together. So you need to learn more so that you can earn more. And that goes back to that point where I said, have some percentage, that you keep for your career, where you gain knowledge, attend webinars, do a certification, have a certification exam done, pass a certification, and add it to yourself. Because the more you learn, the more your potential of earning increases. The next point is about enabling multiple streams of income. And I've learned this, over the years that yes, I have a 9 to 5, but I also have a 5 to 9. So my 9 to 5 is my regular daily job where I go to work and I do all of those things, spend 8 hours at work and do my best and I'll contribute to the organization. But I also have a 5 to 9, which is my personal time. And personally for me, I use that, to consult. So I have a couple of other people I consult for and I, use my knowledge and my skill set for that also brings some level of income to me. The advice is have at least two streams of income. So your job should be your number one stream of income, but have some other things you do on the side, maybe a skill that you have, maybe some level of contribution based on your knowledge that you can provide to people in exchange for value, which is money. So that's very important. The high flyers and those that are financially stable and buoyant have more multiple streams of income. Some have four, some have five, seven, and the like, but at least start with two and then gradually increase. The next point is spend more on investment. So remember what I said earlier, that you should spend less than your income, But again, this is like a reverse of it. You need to spend more on investments, and I mean assets than liability. So in your particular case, double check, okay, is buying a car an asset to you or is it a liability? Rather than buying a car, can you still make do and go and buy a piece of land or a real estate somewhere? Something that can appreciate and add more value to you as opposed to a liability. Buying clothes and shoes are fine because you have to look good and all of that. However, you need to put them on a scale that, okay, should I, spend more on investment or spend more on liability? And then the second to the last part is to be financially accountable. So remember that this financial management is about strategic planning and management of your finances to align with your status and your goals and objectives. So there are times that you need to be financially accountable, either to someone else who is an accountant that can advise you, or or someone that you respect that has gone through this journey before, and they are financially stable. You need to be accountable for to someone. And then finally, in that part, in that aspect of accountability, sometimes this question comes, okay, do you need to take a loan or not? And I know some people have this belief that, oh, you shouldn't take a loan, you shouldn't borrow, and all of those things. It's fine, yes, on a general level, yes, you shouldn't do that. However, there are times that you need to use other people's money for leverage. So I'll give you a case in point. There was a time that I was trying to build a house for the family, build a house and all of that. I had about 50% of the money I needed to complete it. And what I did was, instead of waiting for a long period, I approached the bank to say, okay, can I get a mortgage? Can I get a loan to add to what I have so that I can complete this project? And it was given like I had a monthly repayment plan and all of those things that was quite comfortable for me based on my income to be able to deduct that amount and still attend to other things that I needed to attend to. So don't have that mindset that, oh, you don't need to, it's wrong to take a loan or from the bank or whatever. Yes, there are times that you don't need to do that. But if you're going to do it for something that is worth it, like an asset, for example, building a home, buying a piece of land, then you might as well do it, as long as the monthly repayment plan is still allows you to do other things that you're supposed to do as a responsible human being from a financial perspective. So, just be financially accountable. And then the last part is set your saving and investment goals for 2024. Today is 27th of December 2023. It's a good time for you to set it. Go back, look at how you've spent your money for the year 2023. You might not have been keeping a journal because, like I said, I have been keeping a journal for over 20 years now. It started out as a book. I've moved it to an Excel sheet, and I mean, go back as far back as 20 years to tell you in December of this year, this is how much I spent. This is how I spent my monthly income that came to me. So you need to start setting your investment goals and your saving goals now. So, if for example you want to be saving $1 a day, you should start now and put those things in place. Okay, so what am I going to cut? Instead of buying a bottle of Coke, do I buy just water? Instead of eating this, do I reduce it? There are different things you can cut so that you can save that money. And again, the focus is not just about setting goals and objective. The focus is about growth. Okay, goals are meant to ensure that you grow. So the target is not just setting of the goals or having a new year resolution or saying, okay, I'm going to do this. The target is actually growth. So ensure that you have growth in your mind when you're setting your goals. So if $1 a day is something you can comfortably do, then that is not setting a goal. You should set it to like $5 a day, something that can stretch you. You should set it to like $10 a day or $10 a week, as the case may be. So set your goals, your investment goals, set your saving goals for the year 2024, either on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly or annually. And set it and keep it on one side. Jot it down, put it in your notepad, and then start to track it. That these are the things I'm going to do to ensure that my 2024 is better. This is just a mini series starting with financial management. I'll look at other areas of management as the case may be, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll put the details of Achievers Zone, the different groups in the comment section, and I would like you to help me fill a survey as well to ensure that we're providing information that is targeting and aligned with your needs. Thank you so much. This is Achiever Zone. My name is Oluseyi Lala. Shalom Esquire. Have a nice day. Thank you. Take care. Bye.